I would like to start off this morning by asking you a very personal question. A question you may not be willing to discuss, or whose answer you may not be comfortable acknowledging in public. Are you happy today? Is there any joy in your life right now? If we were to do a show of hands and then set all the happy folks on this side of the sanctuary and all of the unhappy folks on this side, I wonder what the balance would be. I wonder, though, how many of us would be honest in answering that question. Now, the assumption may be that it's the unhappy folks who would have a hard time admitting openly their present condition. But to listen to our daily conversations with one another, perhaps acknowledging happiness is equally difficult. We are living in a world which sometimes we have a hard time letting ourselves be happy or experience joy. The proof is that we work so hard sometimes at making ourselves unhappy, don't we? How do we do that? Well, I came across this prescription of 10 things to do to be guaranteed you'll be unhappy. Okay? You want to be unhappy, here's what you need to do. Number 1, make little things bother you. Don't just let them bother you, make them bother you. Number 2, lose perspective of things and keep it lost. Don't put first things first. Number 3, get yourself a good worry. Have you found one? Something about which you can do absolutely nothing, right? And worry about it. Number 4, be a perfectionist. Condemn yourself and others for not achieving perfection. Number 5, I like this one. If you don't want to be happy, be right. Always right. Perfectly right all the time. Be the only one who's right. And be rigid about your rightness. Number 6, don't trust or believe people or accept them at anything but their worst or weakest. Be suspicious. Impute ulterior motives to them. Number 7, if you don't want to be happy, always compare yourself unfavorably to others, which is the guarantee of instant misery. Number 8, take personally, with a chip on your shoulder, everything that happens to you that you don't like. Number 9, don't give yourself wholeheartedly or enthusiastically to anyone or anything. And 10, if you truly want to be unhappy, make happiness the aim of your life. Instead of bracing for life's barbs through a bitter with the sweet philosophy. Use this prescription for a while and we will be guaranteed unhappiness. Is it not ironic that in the happiest season of all time, the season of good cheer and joy to the world, we find ourselves doing the very things that often guarantee our unhappiness? In fact, some of the rituals we have adopted to make this season the most joyous time of the year are the very prescription of our misery. When I worked at the mental health center several years ago in Greenville, one of my clients was telling me one day that she was undecided if she would be going to her family Christmas celebration on her mother's side of the family that year because she said, last year her daughter got the fewest presents of any of the other children in the family. She had bought gifts for all of the children in the family, but none of her siblings or cousins bought a gift for her daughter, and her feelings were hurt. And the client's mother had ended the whole happy family gathering that year by announcing that they would never come back again to another family Christmas gathering. hope that doesn't sound familiar to any of you. The great theologian and writer C.S. Lewis says in an essay entitled "What Christmas Means to Me," that the way our materialistic, commercialized culture celebrates Christmas, on the whole, gives us much more pain than it does pleasure. He says long before December 25th, everyone's worn out, physically worn out by weeks of daily struggle in crowded stores, mentally worn out by the effort to remember all the right recipients and to think out suitable gifts. And he says most of it is involuntary. The modern rule is that anyone can force you to give him or her a present by sending you an unprovoked present of his own. It's almost a blackmail, he said. I'm afraid that we've completely turned over the celebration of our Savior's birth to the values of a world that stands in complete contrast to who Jesus is and what he teaches us. We use his birth in an effort to make ourselves happy, instead of allowing his birth to bring joy and happiness into our world. Let me repeat that statement. We use his birth in an effort to make ourselves happy, instead of allowing his birth to bring joy and happiness to our world. Did you catch the contrast? A man by the name of C.L. James tells the story of a big dog who saw a little dog chasing its tail. And the big dog asked the little dog, "Why are you chasing your tail?" And the little dog said, "I have mastered philosophy. I have solved the problems of the universe, which no dog before me has rightly solved. I've learned that the best thing for a dog is happiness, and that happiness is my tail. Therefore, I'm chasing it, and when I catch it, I shall have found happiness." And the big old dog said, "My son, I too have paid attention to the problems of the universe in my own humble way, and I have formed some opinions. I too have judged that happiness is a fine thing for a dog, and that happiness is in my tail, but I've noticed that when I chase after it, it keeps running away from me. But when I go about my business, it comes after me." Right? So in our scripture this morning, we find an unbridled expression of joy. And it's the young woman, Mary, singing her delight. She sings, "My soul magnifies the Lord." When was the last time we felt like our souls were magnifying, not ourselves, but magnifying the Lord? What's going on here? What has Mary done to make herself so incredibly happy? How is it Mary has found for herself this feeling that would cause her to break out into such poetic utterance? Has the prize patrol van just pulled up into Mary's driveway? Did she buy the winning lottery ticket? Was she just crowned Miss Judah? What has happened to evoke from this shy Galilean girl these profound words of unrestrained exuberance? We want to know, don't we? Because whatever Mary has done, or bought, or taken, or smoked, we want it, don't we? In our world, we search for that magic happy pill, don't we? For the secret solution, for what will finally bring us contentment, for the answer to what will make our lives once and for all satisfying. Maybe it's the right job. Oh, if I only had the right job. Or maybe if I only could have my dream car. And as a car enthusiast, I understand that. Or maybe if I could just live in the right sort of house, in the right neighborhood, or How about this one? If I could have the right kind of kids. Or the right husband. Or the right wife. You see, we wear ourselves out trying to find all of that, don't we? And some have simply given up on the search. Millions of dollars have been made by the so-called experts who want to tell us where to look for it. What an irony that over 2,000 years ago it wasn't the wise sages or the powerful kings. It wasn't the learned scholars or the pious priests. It wasn't the rich and the famous who discovered that joy. And it still isn't. The joy came to a pregnant teenager who no one outside of her family circle knew except the God of the universe. Joy came to Mary because she opened herself to that joy. She didn't try to make it happen. She didn't try to bargain for it. She didn't gamble for it. She simply lived her life as faithfully and honestly and lovingly as she knew how. And the joy found her. And notice what form her joy took. It wasn't, look at what I've done, look at what I've earned, look at what I've accomplished sort of joy. Her joy was, look at what God has done. Look what God is doing in my life. Kind of joy. You see, Mary's joy was a joy for all the world. A revolutionary kind of joy for the way that God would exalt the humble and feed the hungry and expose the greedy and the haughty for what they truly are. It was a joy felt deep in her soul and whose outlet was her magnificent praise unto God. Mary was found by joy. This Christmas season, my prayer is that joy might find us rather than we find the joy. That we might experience joy in as we answer faithfully the God who calls us, just as he called an unassuming young woman like Mary. The question I leave you this day is, who or what does your soul magnify today? Let's pray. Be quiet, humbly bow in your presence this day, Lord. Release us from the frenzy of trying to create our own happiness. Deliver us from the debt we've acquired trying to make it happen. Restore unto us the peace which comes in pure release, in walking by faith and acknowledging you as the source of all that we have and everything we are. And as we simply go through our lives day by day, seeking to do your good will, by lifting up the humble, feeding the hungry, visiting the prisoners, caring for the sick, listening to the troubled. as we learn better how to take care of one another. Keep our eyes and ears open, that the joy you have sent into the Word would find us.